everyone, Amber here with Amber's Berries and Buds. I'm coming to you today to show you how I make the little moss bowls that you've seen many pictures of. I've asked a lot of questions about if I'm selling these mosses. Yes, I do sell the mosses. I can sell them in pieces, in bulk, or in arrangements like I'm going to do today. So I have laid out here almost exactly what you would be receiving when you receive a package of a moss planter such as these. I do have several types of these planters in different colors. Everything is going to be packaged separately according to layer, and instructions will be included on how to assemble. Now here you have the bottom layer, which is just a rock substrate. This is to keep a very good drainage layer in the bottom so that the water does not pool on the soil and keep the soil moist, which will keep the moss wet. And the moss, when wet, will grow fungus or will rot. Now, to keep the soil separate from your bottom drainage layer, I will be including a screen. This is a fiberglass screen, so it will not rust when hit with water. This will be included on all shipments, cut either circular or in a square. This package here, this contains activated carbon. In the fish industry and shrimping, which I have dealt with primarily, a lot of people will use carbon to remove medication from their water after they've medicated a fish tank. I do know that some people also use carbon in their filters to remove impurities, although I personally do not use carbon in my filters unless I'm medicating and then use carbon to remove it. Carbon does have the benefit of absorbing lots of odors, which is actually what this is intended for in the moss planters. Because this is a live setup that's going to be fairly closed, the carbon does act as an odor neutralizer to take out some of those unpleasant earthy or mossy odors that may occur, which is this bowl right here. The third step is going to be your actual soil. You can use this soil if you like. If you don't want to use it, it's not going to hurt my feelings, but I do include it as a complete setup. And then of course here is the moss that I'm using for this tutorial. This one right here is mood moss. I do have several other mosses to choose from if you would like just one solid moss in your planter. If you want a few different kinds, I will have a list of all the mosses as soon as I can identify all of them up on my Facebook page. All of the bags will be marked as to what layer or what step they should be placed in. The first step is going to be your rock or drainage layer. The second step is going to be your screen. The third step is going to be the carbon. The fourth step is going to be your soil. And lastly, the moss will be the final step in completing this. So I'm just going to go ahead and put it all together. It is incredibly simple, will not take but a few minutes. So first off, I'm going to pour in the bottom substrate layer, just the drainage layer. And I'm going to get this about 1.5 inches to 2 inches thick. I'm going to shake it just to even it out. And I know it's a little bit dark, but it's kind of down in there. It is approximately about 1.5 inches to 2 inches. Next is going to be the screen layer. It is bigger than the mouth itself. There is a reason for it to be bigger. You don't want the soil or the top substrate layer to be mixing with your drainage layer, because then your drainage will become ineffective. The screen is wider so that it can actually catch everything. So just push that down in there and even it out around the sides. And again, you won't see that because it's black. Next is going to be the activated carbon. That does not take very much. The carbon will last for a good while, and it doesn't require it to be completely packed in there. Next, we're going to add in the soil. And you may want to use a funnel. I have a mat down specifically to make messes, just like I did. And I'm not going to pack in the soil. It doesn't need to be packed. In fact, I prefer it just a little bit aerated. And it's not quite up to the rim. It's just setting a little bit below the rim. Some of these mosses will be very flat on the bottom. There won't be much height to them. Some of them will come with a little bit of height. You can see that's just about a ½ inch from the rim, possibly. I'll clean my rim up a little bit. Next, I'm going to take this moss. This moss has not really been measured for this cup, but I think it would probably fit perfectly. All right. And other than the mess, we have a completed pot. The moss will eventually fill in these edges here. It will continue to grow a little bit, probably very, very slowly, depending on which moss you get. If you want it to be slightly higher than how I have it here, you could add a little bit more of a soil layer. Personally, I don't like to have too much of the sides and the bottom of the moss. Mosses do not have roots, so there is no way for them to actually go into the soil and take up water. They just basically stay moist and their leaves will absorb moisture. So I don't like to have these mosses too terribly high above the cup. If you would like your planter to be customized, I do have a few small accessories that you can put with them that will stay on there just on top. Maybe the cinnamon sticks I generally stick in somewhere on the side, sticking out. They're just aesthetically pleasing. I have little wood rounds. I have used these in larger setups just because they tend to cover a lot of surface area, so don't recommend them for the smaller planters. But if you would like for your planter to be customized with one of the accessories that I have, you can definitely do that. Just ask. I also have different colors of planters as well, so you can see those there. And of course, if you have any questions about your setup, about planting, about anything to do with moss, I would be happy to answer your questions and make you feel at ease about your moss planters. So if you've liked what you've seen here today, please give me a thumbs up on my YouTube video, subscribe to my channel. You can purchase a planter on my Facebook page, facebook.com/berriesandbuds. You can send me a Facebook message as well if you would like this planter, or if you would even like a customized planter of something that's a little bit larger than this size. Customized planters will be priced according to the job and basically what's all involved in them. So you may just want to get a hold of me doing that. But these little planters are very simple, add a touch of elegance to basically anywhere in the house. I have one on my desk at work. I have a couple of larger planters that are near a window. In my living room, I have got a bowl that's on my kitchen countertop. These mosses are a great addition just about anywhere in your home. Thanks for watching.